People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much, man. Good evening to all of you lot. I hope you're all doing well and safe on this Wednesday evening in England and them things there. But I'm so sure I've done a video like this before, but one of you lot asked me in my comments, would I rather sell Aubameyang or Lacazette again? In light of the continued rumours and the contract business and more speculation and it just being off season, might as well revisit this subject, man. Now, it's a tough one, people. It's a tough one because I think it's 50-50. If I go with my heart, it's neither. If I go with my brain, it's neither. Because I don't, as much, I love both, so I don't want either to leave, of course. But away from that, I don't feel Arsenal would necessarily be in a better position if one was to leave. No disrespect to both, because I'm big fans, but I don't feel Aubameyang, if he was by himself at this football club, if we were to sign some quality wingers, you obviously know what I'm talking about. If you don't want to call them wingers, inside forwards in that, like, I don't know, a Salah or any of the players at the top club, Mane, I keep screaming up Liverpool, man, but anyone that's at the top clubs in the top bracket of players, if we was going to have elite players like that, then Lacazette or Aubameyang could probably do it, but I feel obviously Aubameyang first and foremost is a bloody good goal scorer. Let's put respect on his name, regardless of what I or you might say in terms of could he do more. 22 league goals in the Prem, 30 odd in all competitions. How long have we since? I'm sure Alexis must have got close to that when he went up front. There was a Van Persie year. More often than not, we ain't seen that sort of striker or had that in our side in a while, people. And there's a lot that we need to fix up. But I remember do you remember when we were ironically closer to having a complete team and we was like, can we just get a striker? Imagine when Ozil did get 19 assists, if we did have Aubameyang or something. But it is what it is, man. We seem to love always putting a bit of the jigsaw together and leaving a piece. But so there's Aubameyang. Obviously, but I don't feel Aubameyang probably has enough about him technically to be the striker by himself. Lacazette's a bad boy footballer. You don't know I'm a big fan of his. 13 goals, 10 assists, but at the end of the day, that's not 20 league goals. Let's not discredit any of Lacazette or Aubameyang's goals, especially Lacazette's goals. Let's not discredit it because he scored in some big games and assisted some. But if we remove Aubameyang's goals and just focus on Lacazette's goals, we wouldn't have finished fifth probably, people. So whatever way we cut it, Lacazette doesn't get 20 league goals, so we'll be losing that as a club, and we got a lot to fix up on, people. But if we never had that this season, it could have been even worse, innit, people? Aubameyang could have scored more, but we can only deal with what he actually did. So Lacazette or Aubameyang, I don't feel neither can do it. I kind of preached this point a bit when we signed Aubameyang. We knew, okay, he's not. I wouldn't class him as a world-class footballer or top 5 in the world, but he's one of the bracket or two below in that you've got all of these typical star players. If they go to clubs, they're going to be star names, they're going to sell shirts. We knew with his age and where he is at, he's not going to return any sell-on fee realistically. Obviously, if the mad thing was to happen in China or someone wanted to move mad, then of course, but you knew you weren't going to make no bread back really on Aubameyang, past probably commercial shirt sales, things like that. You weren't going to make a transfer fee on him again. So I'm big on the fact that we did that. Cash must have been put away. Utilise a striker that can get 20 league goals. Obviously, to sell Lacazette would be political because he is one of, ironically, both of them are, but Lacazette, one of the only players with some sort of resale value right now within the squad of substantialness. For him, if he leaves and possibly goes and plays Champions League football and things like that, could he have got into the France squad? Possibly he even took a gamble joining Arsenal when he did from Lyon, considering where the country, the years were moving in terms of the World Cup and things like that, and settling at a new club and stuff. If he stayed at Lyon, would he have went to the World Cup? If he went to another team like Atletico playing in the Champs, would he have went to the World Cup? Who knows, people? And that's just me putting myself in his mind. If it came to it, I would clearly want to sell Aubameyang more. Only it boils down to age, people. It just purely boils down to age, really and truly. We knew when we bought him, he's only really going to have 3-4 top years statistically if we just look at ages, not what actually happens, but just ages left. So you want to utilise a striker that can get 20 league goals, and ideally, if you have a striker that's up there with top goal scorers. Again, we know Arsenal's situation is delicate, but you should be, by default, aiming for league titles. Do you see what I'm saying? He's there to score goals. He does his job. Lacazette's a top player, like I said, and he's got more longevity in him as well, so it'd make more sense to keep him. if it came to Aubameyang purely when it just boils to age, and that's only just people. Obviously, if we was to sell Aubameyang for what I've seen everything from 60 to 80 million from China, that will give us significant finances. But to a degree, will we be making more holes for ourselves? Because like I said at the start, you could go out there. Probably you need to sign two wingers, people. Guaranteed goals. Like you couldn't, if you're selling Aubameyang, you either need to sign another striker or sign some wingers. Guaranteed goals. And you lot know me, I love potential and rough diamonds and stuff. I'm not talking about none of that. Man that are ready to do this thing right now, or there's gonna be hell to pay. Do you see what I'm saying, people? If you was, because look how much goals you'd be losing out the side. I don't feel obviously statistically, probably if you look, we've had all different goal scorers this season, but I don't feel there's enough goal scorers within the team. I feel our midfielders, central midfielders should, I'm not calling for everyone to get 10 goals, but they should be chipping in a bit more on that front. I know Xhaka did last season to a degree, and things like that. I feel the fullback should be chipping in. Again, I'm not asking for fullbacks to score 10, but just a couple goals, couple things here and there. Strikers and midfield and wingers and all these players obviously need to score. So you need to go out and invest in that, to be honest, people. Yes, Lacazette would be able to do the thing by himself, but again, Lacazette only got 13 league goals, people. As much as I love him, you remove Aubameyang's goals and where does it put us? So I'd need to do some serious stuff. We'd be inventing more holes, people, because on one hand, if you only go with one of them, what happens when they have a bad day? Because they're human, people. They're human. You can say we need to refund them, sell to refund our starting lineup and stuff like that. But what happens if one of them don't turn up? What happens if one of them gets injured? You're back to square one, sort of thing, people, really and truly. So you kind of need both in this. I don't feel neither can kind of lead the thing by themselves. And secondly, you'd probably want to think about injuries or different options, or just if players are out of form and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things to think about, people. There's a lot. You can't just make a thingy, people. And obviously, people, it's too basic to look at it as biting the bullet or selling Aubameyang, for example. Based on my answer, assuming that 60 to 80 million comes in, we buy a centre half, we buy a centre mid. Well, I would buy a centre half, a left back, and a centre mid if my money could stretch and fix up the squad. But then you'd be looking again. You'd fix up your spine of the squad and you'd be ready to go with Leno and that, and it'd be cool. But then you'd be thinking, all right, cool. Do I need to buy another striker now? Do I need to stack for another striker? Because if I choose to go with, let's just say Aubameyang left, then it would probably be Lacazette and Eddie. Really and truly, one that's kind of Eddie will get football if it was me, but it'll be kind of tough on him. Really and truly, you can't really. He needs to develop and things like that. He's barely played any career appearances. Can I expect him to get 22 league goals? I'll back any of my young G's, Tyrese, John Jules, and all these players to do it, but it'll be unfair, innit? And it's a lot of pressure. Lacazette, again, he hasn't got 20 league goals. He'll make the difference. He'll pull his weight, of course, people. I'm not saying that, but 13 to 22. You see what I'm saying? What I should have done is put up all the games they scored in as well. Not that I care, because goals are important. And Lacazette with the assists as well, we can't underestimate that. And I know I made a point about we don't have enough goal scorers, assists as well, man. To be fair, again, statistics might not back that one up there, but I don't feel there's much more for me to say personally, people. On that note, I'm going to keep it moving, people. DG.